Good morning, Flosstube. We are back again for day 8 of Stitch Mania. Can you believe we have been doing this for a week now? We've been meeting together every morning and stitching together, and yeah, I'm loving it. You know, I didn't know when I first started how I would feel about starting a new project almost every day, and I really don't have any problem with it at all. I'm enjoying everything about this. I'm enjoying the recording of what I'm doing and talking to you about it. I'm enjoying your comments. I'm glad. I mean, there's quite a few of you that are stitching along with me every day and seem to be enjoying what I'm doing here and what I'm talking about, which is kind of funny because I feel like I ramble on quite a bit, but that's okay. We're having fun. So what you can see in front of you is what I got done yesterday. This is the Sing a Series sampler by Silver Creek Samplers. I got that wrong again. Sing a Series. Yeah, I think that's right. I don't know. You know what it is. You've seen it every day for how long now? I got done the block here that I wanted to. This is just so stinking cute. I love it. I love the font. I love the colors I've chosen. It's a quick stitch. It's a fun stitch. I started on the verse, the when you know the notes to sing. So yeah, love everything about this. And you know, Pam of Just Keep Stitching has said she's been posting on Stitch Mania, of course, every day. And every single day she says, I love this so much, I hate to put it down. And that is exactly how I'm feeling about everything. Yeah, everything I've just absolutely loved stitching on, and I've hated to put it down. But I'm going to, because today it is time for a new stitch, a new start. Today I am starting Spring Jack from Plum Street Samplers. So here's a funny story. I told you yesterday that I wasn't sure if I was going to stitch this 1 over 2, over 1 or over 2, that I would have to play with that. So I did the calculations last night, and over 2, this is actually a 28 count fabric rather than a 30 count as I thought. So when I did the calculations, over 2 would have it at about, I think it was like around 7 by 8, a little bit over 7, a little bit over by 8, actually 8 by 7, 8 by 7. And the over 1 has it at 4.5 by 3.5. And I decided I liked the size of the over 2 better. That, yeah, 7 by 8, that's a good size. This morning I put in my first few stitches, as I do, and I decided I just don't like my X's that big. I know a lot of people, you know, they love stitching on 28, 14 count, whichever is their jam, that's fine. It's just not for me. I don't like my X's that big. So I switched back, took out the over 2 that I had done, cut down my fabric to the size I needed, and I'm stitching this 1 over 1. So yeah, the finished size will be, I think it's 4.5 by 3.5. The pattern actually calls for 40 count linen over 2, and I think that's the finished size of that is a little bigger, 6 by 5, something like this. So this will be a little bit smaller than the model is stitched on, but you know, I'm okay with that. So, Spring Jack. Let's get started. Oh, what shall we talk about today? Shall we talk about the cat? The cat. So he had his first insulin shot last night. Seemed fine. No reaction that we could tell. Very, like you guys said, very, very easy to give an insulin shot to a cat. This morning, Mike gets up at 5 o'clock to start getting ready for work, and I'm a very light sleeper, so I usually wake up when he gets up, and I may or may not fall back to sleep, just depending on whether my brain kicks on or not. This morning, right after he gets up, I hear scratching coming from our, you know, living in a 2-bedroom apartment, living room, kitchen, dining room, it's all basically the same area. So I heard scratching coming from the quote-unquote dining room. And if a cat, one of the cats is in the litter box, well, let me back up a second. We actually have a white noise generator that we use when we go to sleep so that we aren't disturbed by, any noise that any neighbors may make or any noises that the cats may make. So we can't hear them. Get that a little closer. I think I went off. Did I go down the right hole? I did. We can't hear them usually if they're in their litter box, which is in the closet in the spare bedroom, the spare second bathroom. We can't hear them if they're scratching in there when we have our white noise generator on. And it was still on when Mike got up, but I could hear scratching quite clearly. Now, I think I've mentioned before that Sasha has had accidents, as we call them, in that particular area of the apartment before, so by the dining room table. So I sprang out of bed, and sure enough, he had taken a dump under the table and was scratching against the wall. So I let Mike know, got dressed. Mike came out, and he proceeded to clean up the poop. And as he was doing that, Sasha threw up in the kitchen. Now, luckily, the kitchen is not carpeted. The dining room is, so that's a mess. The kitchen just has, vinyl flooring on it. So, and that was just like fluid. It wasn't a hairball. It wasn't food. So, I don't know whether he's having a reaction to the insulin, or whether it's just general not being healthy. I got that cleaned up. So Mike gave him a second insulin shot this morning, so we'll see how he does through the day and if there's any reaction. We think the accident underneath the table was probably just a kitty acting out because his slave didn't jump right out of bed this morning and fill his food bowl. His food bowl was empty. So, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Let me count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So anyways, that was a wonderful way to start the morning, as I'm sure you can imagine. So Mike got Mike's lunch ready for him, and he toddled off to work, and yeah. So I don't know whether Sasha's reacting to the insulin. The doctors didn't say that, there'd be any that kind of reaction, but like I said, we'll see how he does today. And yeah, so that was my morning. Things are going to be looking up later because I am meeting Donna Ray this afternoon, Flannel Jammy's farm. Donna Ray is coming up to Baltimore. We are going to be meeting at the stitching post this afternoon, so I am uber excited about that. Going to have fun talking and shopping and, just being in person, real life. That's always cool. The other news, I mentioned yesterday that Misty Purcell and I are going to be getting together when I go up to Lancaster this weekend. Well, we got in touch with Country Stitcher, the Country Stitcher gals, Deb and Liz, and they are going to be meeting us too. So we are going to have like our own little mini Central PA Flosstube gathering. And then we'll just hang out. I'm going to try and do some video recording of the get-together. So my plan for the weekend, I just had a little power bump there. I don't know whether you can hear that clicking, but my ups is clicking on and off. That's rather weird. The sun is shining. There's no wind. Don't know what's... Oh, there it goes again. Alrighty then, because it hasn't been a weird enough morning to begin with. So the weekend. I have been contemplating how I am going to handle my daily Stitch With Me videos over the weekend. There is absolutely no way I could upload a video. Most campgrounds have Wi-Fi. Most campgrounds have free Wi-Fi. It is very much a truism for campgrounds that you get what you pay for. The Wi-Fis, they usually work really well in the morning, early morning, before people start getting up. And you can tell as people start getting up and start getting on their devices, it just slows and slows and slows. And there's just no way. And I have the option of uploading a video on my cell service. So, but I can't upload a long one. We do have unlimited data, but I just don't want to overload things like that. So I was thinking maybe I would try and do like double recording each day, do 2 recordings each day, and do my ones from over the weekend and schedule them. But you know, I just have so much going on this week, and then getting ready for the trip, that just kind of seemed overwhelming to me too. So what I've decided to do is boy, I really don't like how messy my stitches are looking there, but hopefully they will look better as more get in around them. What I've decided to do is I am going to do Maynia on the road. So I'm not going to try and do any Stitch With Me's this weekend, this weekend. What I am going to do is take that one back out. What I am going to do is just give you kind of a glimpse of what it's like being in the RV on the road. So I am going to, once we're heading up there Friday, we'll get set up Friday afternoon. So I'm going to do a little video. Probably I'll do a little shot of us driving and me trying to stitch. I don't know whether I'll stitch or I'll knit while we're driving. I usually knit because the roads are so bad that trying to stitch is just annoying. It's too bumpy. And Pennsylvania is notorious for bad roads. 83 that we'll be taking up isn't too bad. But yeah, it just can get annoying. So I may just be knitting. But anyways, I'll take a little video clip of being on the road in the RV, and then once we get set up, I will do a little tour of our RV, and you can see what our home away from home looks like. That will be Friday, and like I said, these aren't going to be long at all. And then Saturday, I hope to do a little clip of the get-together of us gals. We're going to be meeting at a store in Lancaster called Stitches Unlimited. Deb from Country Stitchers is actually going to get in touch with them and make sure it's okay. I guess they're a fairly small store, so she's going to get in touch with them and just kind of give them a heads up that we're going to be descending upon them Saturday afternoon. And again, it's not going to be anything real long and involved, just kind of, you know, a hello from everybody and maybe a little look at the store, that kind of thing. I'm just going to kind of wing that. I don't really know what I'm going to be doing. And then Sunday we'll be heading home, and I probably am not going to do any on Sunday, so just kind of take a break on Mother's Day. And then and Sunday I actually have a whip. My Grateful Hearts whip is what I'll be pulling out for Sunday, and I've shown that before in my Flosstube videos, so those of you that have watched some of those may be familiar with that. And so Monday I'll be back at it, back on my normal schedule, and I'll show you what I've done over the weekend. Monday or Tuesday I may do an update video, one of my longer ones. I'll have to see how I feel and what's on the agenda for the weekend, or for the week. So I hope you guys will find that interesting. I think it'll be fun. I know meeting up with Misty and Deb and Liz is going to be a lot of fun. And of course, Donna Ray today. Just a lot of fun meetups in my future. I told Misty on Instagram last night, I said, you know, I'm such an introvert. After all this social activity, I'm just going to have to crawl into a hole for a little while and recharge. So that's who I am. I don't think I mentioned what I'm using here. The called for floss for the pumpkin is actually Classic Colorworks Antique Lace. I am using Victorian Motto's Sunday Hayride, and I believe this came from last month's probably Prim. I get both the Prim limited edition and the regular limited edition sets every month, so I think that was probably in the Prim set. So I'm just putting some stitches in here trying to get this pumpkin established. What I'd like to do, it's kind of so hard to tell on this picture, but I kind of want to get, the ones I'm working right now are coming down to the nose. I'd kind of like to get this line over here and this line over here done so that I can take breaks and branch off, if you'll pardon the pun, branch off up to the leaves and flowers to take a break from just stitching all the pumpkin, because that's a lot of stitching. That's going to take a while. So we shall see how that goes. And I'm going to try, there's not a whole lot of variegation in this, but there is some. There's some places that have more. You can see kind of in there. There's more of a peachy look rather than just the cream. So I think as I continue on, I'm going to try not to do straight lines as much. I'm going to try to kind of move it around or go diagonally some, or just swirl it a bit so it doesn't look like there's any sort of pattern. This is a nice fabric to do over one on. I don't use even weave a whole lot just because, you know, it's not what I had in my stash, and I gravitate towards linen more, but boy, having these nice even fabric and these nice even holes certainly is nice. Have I used nice enough? So let's see. Let's go back to, since I've run out of things to say, let's go back to a tag. So the next tag I'm going to work through is called the Stitching Style tag. And I'm getting all these tags off of the, is it Trisha's blog, I think, who has compiled all the tags. So I appreciate all that, having them all right here. The URL is afdish. Yeah, afdish.blogspot.com. So, oh look, the first question is, what is your favorite fabric? As I said, I do gravitate towards the linens, mostly because I do like the higher counts. I think, as far as I know, and I may be wrong, but as far as I know, even weave only goes up to 32. Is that right? Is there a 36 even weave? If somebody knows, let me know in the comments. But because I do prefer 36 and 40 counts, I'm kind of, I pretty much go towards the linens. Do you use a hoop or frame? You guys can answer that question. Do I use a hoop or a frame? Nope. Neither. Do you use a stand or just hold your frame? Nope. Neither. None. What is your favorite time to stitch? All day, every day, as my kids would say. Anytime I can get a chance to stitch, I will. And you can see that I'm not knitting as much. I've kind of fallen back so hard into stitching that my knitting is being neglected to a certain degree. But I do knit. I try and knit in the evenings. Like when we're watching TV, I can stitch, But it's easier for me, you know, when I'm stitching, my attention is pretty much totally down here on my fabric. When I'm knitting, I don't have to look as closely at what my hands are doing, and so I can look at the TV more. So I guess in that respect, maybe knitting is more relaxing for me. So in the evenings, boy, they just look a mess. They look as a mess on camera as they do in real life. Well, I'm gonna go with it. Anyways, I guess I find knitting slightly more relaxing in that regard, maybe less eye strain. So in the evenings, it's just an easier thing for me to do unless there's some stitching. Like if I haven't stitched very much during the day, I'll stitch at night. Kind of like to feel my little stitching heart. But if I have done mostly stitching during the day, then I'll knit at night. Alright guys, I think that is all for today. Let me, before I turn that over and end that, tomorrow what we have is Welcome Spring. And this was that the little freebie that you got, if you bought the fibers, then you got the chart. Now for this, you can see that little tiny piece of fabric. This one I am doing over one as well. And I think, if I remember correctly, it's only 62, the stitch count is only 62 inches square. So if I remember correctly, over one, this is going to be like a little 2x2 finished piece. So I'm kind of excited to see how small and dainty that is. So anyways, guys, have a great day. Stitch your hearts out. And I will be back with you tomorrow, probably with a report on how it went with the fun Donna Ray and I had. Have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.